Assalamu alaikum. Now we believe that God is supernatural and He can do everything. A non-Muslim friend of mine has a question. Why is it that God does not assume a human form? Can you please explain?
The sister posed the question that God is supernatural, He can do everything, and her friend posed the question, then why can't God Almighty take human forms? The people who believe in God, they say that God is supernatural. Everyone out here who believes in God will also believe that God is supernatural. I would like to know which person out here who believes in a God says that God is not supernatural. Everyone. Everyone who believes in God, they believe that God is supernatural. Supernatural means there is nature and then there is God. In fact, according to the Quran, God is not supernatural. God is not supernatural. According to the concept of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, God created nature. It will never be that nature said this and God is saying the opposite. God created the nature. God created a fitrah, the innate nature in the human being. One of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given in the Quran is Fatir, which is the name of the 35th surah of the Quran. Fatir has been derived from the word fitrah, meaning innate nature. Fatir means the creator, the originator of creation, the creator of the primeval matter to which more creation is added by God Almighty. Therefore, when we break our fast in Ramadan, we say iftar. Iftar means break. Same way, the word fatir means creator. It means shaper, former as well as splitter. Quran tells the people that don't you see the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and don't you ponder on them? Look at the sun, look at the moon. They are following the laws of nature. They will never change their course. They are all natural. Same way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is too natural. It's mentioned in the Quran. In Surah Ahzab, chapter number 33, verse number 62, it says, Walan tajid, that the nature, Walan tajid li sunnatillah tabdila, that you will never find a change in the nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surah Ahzab, chapter number 33, verse number 62. A similar message is repeated in the Quran, saying that established the handiwork of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never will you find a change in the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a standard religion, but most of them will not understand. Mentioned Surah Rum, chapter number 30, verse number 30. Today science tells us, the quantum and the modern science, they tell us that without an observer, you don't have anything. The universe without the observer is useless. The scientists pose the question, who was the first observer? Another attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ash-shaheed, the witness. Quran says, Allah was the person who first witnessed. So, God is not supernatural, God is natural. Regarding our second part of the question, that God can do everything. Normally, I pose this question to most of the people who believe in God, just so that they have a better understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I ask them the question, that can God create anything and everything? Most of them will say yes. Can God destroy anything and everything? All will say yes. My third question is, can God create a thing which He cannot destroy? And they are trapped. If they say yes, that God can